This is a sample chapter from Fitton Books. Kron by Robert P. Fitton, Chapter 30. Freighter North Atlantic, 9:44 a.m. Collins, toothpick between his teeth, moved closer to the monitor. The drone, its light-colored exterior blending in with the powder blue sky, sat in the center of the dark, grainy deck. 4 sets of blades spun concurrently. He checked the clock in the darkened control room next to the screen. In 9 minutes, the synchronizing device inside the garage would arm the bomb. When the bomb was within range, a 2-minute countdown clock to detonation would commence. He rotated the toothpick. Begin ascent. Beginning ascent, said Martin. The drone went straight into the sky. One of the cameras zoomed in on the spinning blades in 4 corners holding the linear weapon, no more than 3 feet in length. Okay, let's get out of here. Full speed. Collins again studied the drone, still rising and moving westward now on a steady course to the Camden Bay skyline. One hopes we will not be killed. You won't feel a thing if that happens, said Collins as he chuckled. He threw the toothpick to the floor. Bomb is ready for detonation. Very good, gentlemen. You have done your jobs. He felt the ship increase in speed, but his eyes were fixed on the spinning blades and the canister's deadly cargo, now a kilometer downrange and 900 feet in the air. A gruesome, deadly conspiracy. Regalia Square, Camden Bay, 2:49 p.m. Randy spotted Wilcox and Cross from Wyoming along the presidential platform. He stood with Fogarty in the tree-lined park. Children chased each other on the grass, and mothers and fathers wheeled baby carriages along the promenade. Harry and his family sat at a picnic table near the small pond. Ahead, Pappy played with Brownie as Eddie kept his distance. Pappy's girlfriend, Petunia, in her bright red pantsuit, clapped every time Brownie caught the frisbee. In front of the trees, a crowd of several thousand people had ringed the platform, already filled with dignitaries. Mayor Ames prattled on and received several rounds of lame applause. Pappy threw the red frisbee through the warm air above the grass. Brownie leaped into the air and snapped his mouth over the frisbee as he ran back to Pappy. That dog is a one-trick pony, said Eddie. Brownie growled at Eddie. You don't scare me, Brownie. When the dog barked, Eddie jumped back. Randy's cell phone rang. Randy. It's John. I'm waiting to hear from Canada. They may have Kovar. Cross has told me that Kovar is definitely Fournier. That makes sense. There's a car chase going on in Montreal right now. Fournier was the name he used to book the 11 p.m. flight to London. He had gone to a local restaurant. He must have seen security somehow. He had rented a van. They'll find him. They're chasing Kovar in Canada, he said in a lower voice to Fogarty. He used the name Fournier. Exactly what was inside your head, she said, holding his wrist. What was his role in this, John? Asked Randy, nodding. I don't know. I'll just be glad when Richardson is out of the city, he said as several jets passed overhead below the mottled clouds. I hear the jets. They shut down all air traffic in the corridor. It would have been just easier if the president had gone back to D.C. last night. Hold the line, Randy. This is good news, Fogarty. The mayor had begun his introduction of the president. Julie was speaking to the camera to the left of the platform. It's good that they have Fournier, but time is running out, she said as Ames shouted out Richardson's name. The crowd cheered as the gray-haired president in a light suit walked toward the podium. I am very nervous. Me too. Hey, Kokomo, said Eddie, dressed in a yellow sport coat. There he is, the Duke. That's him, Eddie. Eddie hit his arm. So where have you been? Not now, Eddie. Brownie moved up beside him and Randy patted his head. Good boy. Why, thank you, said Eddie as Pappy waddled over. Not you, Eddie, said Pappy. The other mutt. Hey, you ain't no spring chicken either, Pappy. Richardson stepped to the mic.
Hello, Camden Bay.
The crowd waved and cheered wildly as his voice echoed across the square.
This city was very good to me during the last election, and we appreciate it. With Camden Bay, we carried the state. Thank you.
Randy,
said John Wharton as he came back on the line. The president continued with his speech.
This is good news. They've captured Fournier. The bad news is he's clamming up.
What did we overlook, John?
Anthrax, bioweapons, dirty bomb. How Fournier fits into that, I can't figure out.
Randy pinched the bridge of his nose. This is such a crapshoot, John. The president shouldn't even be here.
Clearly, Fournier was here to transfer something,
said Wharton.
Colonel is back on the line. Hold on. Randy, is there anything else?
Asked Briggs.
I just got off the phone with Wenzel.
If Fournier had shown up at the meeting with the president last night, I wouldn't be worried.
Or maybe he didn't accomplish what he wanted to accomplish.
Then why leave the empty suitcases in the room? As the president told a mediocre joke, Briggs shuffled some papers.
I have Wenzel's transcript about you waking up.
With all due respect, Colonel, we already know that. The light, the clouds, the beings, all the hookups, it all ended with more clouds and names as I woke up. What kind of clouds? Asked Fogarty as she pointed through the fluffy trees at the high cloud cover. Like that? Randy nodded as he looked up. Then he faced the road toward Lake Van Buren. When he concentrated, it was like zooming with a camera, but he saw nothing. Then he shook his head at Fogarty. The sky.
What do you see, Randy?
Asked Wharton. Very similar, like when I woke up.
I'm getting helicopters up there right now,
yelled Briggs. Randy looked over his shoulder. Over the lake was a very light-colored drone with something below that approached a few thousand feet above the lake. Forget the firepower, Colonel.
What is it, Randy?
I'll take care of it. Pappy played with Brownie, with Eddie pontificating. Julie spoke into the camera a few hundred feet away. He turned to Fogarty. I like you, Fogarty. I just want you to know that. He smiled at Fogarty and then ran toward the alley. Once away from the crowd, Randy folded his arms and rose upward. He could hear Richardson taper off as he panned the sky from the hills outward toward the lake. Fogarty's phone rang. Briggs's voice was clear.
Where is he, Fogarty?
I saw him fly up, Colonel. He's way up there now. I lost sight of him.
What do you think?
It's a long shot, Colonel. Everything is okay here on the ground.
Keep me posted.
Fogarty slipped her phone into her pocket. She walked away from Eddie and Pappy toward Julie, no longer on the air. Hello, Fogarty. Are you all right? I'm okay. Where's Randy? She pointed upward. Surveillance. I think we'll be all right. The president's almost done. Her phone sounded. It was Wharton.
Is he up there?
Yes. As he spoke, the entire sky brightened. Nuclear! Run, John! Wharton laughed.
Not gonna make any difference now, my friend.
A shockwave threw everyone to the ground. The sound was so loud she blocked her ears. In the sky, a silver platinum oval cloud, luminescent and green toward the center, swirled and then began shrinking. The wide explosion suddenly reversed and the wild clouds compressed into a pinpoint. Then all was quiet. At first she heard birds. Then the president's press secretary announced everything was okay. Fogarty sat up. Her eyes moistened because she knew that light had been the beginnings of some kind of horrific blast. But that blast reversed and disappeared into nothing and took Randy Wilson with it.